Happy Halloween, Happy Day of the Dead, Happy Samhain, Happy Harvest, Happy whatever you celebrate, Happy Fall, y'all. So today on our X-Files review, we're going to do something a little special, and it's not going to be necessarily about a particular X-Files episode or about astrology in particular, but we are going to talk about probably the 75% of the reason I love the X-Files, and that is the effing monsters. So let's go, people. This is going to be our top 11 countdown of our favorite monsters, X-Files style. Let's go, people. Alright, number 11, we are going with the Mothmen from the Season 5 episode Detour. And by the way, these monsters are going to be ranked on their ridiculousness, their frightability, and their ability as far as Fox Mulder goes. Because what use would monsters be on the X-Files if Fox Mulder just wasn't getting ravenously horny over them? So let's go. The Mothmen are at 11 because Mulder definitely seemed more afraid of them than horny. And I know that comes down to the final scene when they're stalking Scully in her motel room, which is one of the scariest scenes in the series. A lot of people remember this episode for the scene where Mulder and Scully are terrified and lost in the Florida backwoods, which is the correct way to feel about being lost in the Florida backwoods. But the truly scary scene in this episode is where Scully goes back to her motel room and the Mothman is hiding under the bed and you see its glowing eyes. So props for frightability. And as for ridiculousness, when you just look at the Mothmen, how they're just balding men that have plastered moss all over themselves, like, they're actually kind of silly. It's kind of like any X-Files monster when you just look at it and they're very dated 90s practical effects. But with the editing and everything, the same way with the episodes like Folie à Deux and Shapes, like, the monster looks so stupid, but with the editing and the lighting, it is so terrifying. And that's why the North Florida Mothmen are number 11 on this list. Number 10, the Fiji Mermaid! Okay, this is my favorite monster on the list, but I had to put it at number 10 because as soon as Scully gives Mulder an I'll buy it more intriguing answer to explain the Fiji Mermaid than just, I don't know, fucking monkey fish, Mulder just loses interest. And that's always funny because when I figured out what the Fiji Mermaid was, it's actually just Leonard creating an esophagus out of his old umbilical cord to his twin brother Lenny. He became vastly more interesting than the monkeyfish explanation. But as far as ridiculousness goes, just look at this guy, but then look at him crawling across this parking lot and just unlocking a chain link fence. I don't know what it is about the chain link fence scene in Humbug that gets me, but it just keeps me up at night. So yeah, frightability puts the Fiji Mermaid at number 10. Number 9, we have the rare Idaho scrotum bat. And like the Fiji Mermaid, the only reason the scrotum bat is at towards the bottom of the list is because Mulder was not horny for him. The scrotum bat looks ridiculous. Like I said, it's based on probably one of the cutest animals in the world. And the X-Files writers were like, let's make him look like a ball sack. I also just love the way the scrotum bat acts. At the end of the episode Patience, Scully tells Doggett that the scrotum bat has their scent so it could follow them. And I just always want that fucker, like, in their chimney, going out at twilight or dawn going, boo! But I talked about that in my Patience video. And it is a terrifying monster, just how it stalks people. It waits for, what, 44 years to get Wilford Brimley Bat Hunter? Anyway, the scrotum bat is one of the reasons Patience and Season 8 is one of my favorite X-Files seasons. Number 8, we have Big Blue, the plesiosaur. How is Mulder gonna this Loch Ness monster in Georgia? Well, kind of like Ponyo's dad in the movie Ponyo did Ponyo's mom. Mulder hasn't quite figured it out. He just knows he wants to do it. and that causes him to go out in the middle of this giant lake in Georgia, put his partner's life in danger, and get her dog eaten. R.I.P. Queequeg. You get an honorable mention on this list, buddy. So, suffice to say, Mulder doesn't get to a plesiosaur, but he really wants to. So, that gets Big Blue at number 8 on our list. Show us your bobbers. Number 7 on the list is a two-way tie between the Manitou monster in the episode Shapes and Josh Exley in the season 6 baseball episode. Now, I'm putting these at a two-way tie because while Mulder does not actually meet the alien playing baseball, the baseball playing alien, Arthur Dales is the one playing the alien, and he does not meet the Manitou were-creature in the episode Shapes, people continually telling him stories about these monsters makes him just want to jump up and a werewolf and an alien immediately. I mean, I always say that the exact way Josh Exley seduced Arthur Dales in the past is the exact same way Mulder turns around and seduces Scully at the end of this episode. So, it is the same way with the Manitou, but instead of Mulder fucking a werewolf at the end, Scully does. Good for her. Number 6 is the Golem from the episode Caddish. So, this episode is great. Neo-Nazis really tell Ariel, haha, we've killed your husband and you cannot marry a zombie. And she's like, girl, hold my bouquet. I love Ariel. Nazis, anti-Semitism, bigotry, the immortal coil of death beckoning to all of us? Do you think that's going to stop this girl from marrying her himbo? Hell no. The fact that he is a golem does not dissuade her at all. I love Ariel. And the only reason Golem isn't higher on the list is because Mulder particularly isn't horny for him. But Ariel sure as hell are. And also Mulder and Scully are the witnesses to this undead wedding. So it gets it on a fair point on the list. Number 5. The Slug, and particularly his cult in the episode Roadrunners. Now I'm fudging a little bit with this one, but the Slug has so many bitches doing his bidding, he has to be high on this list. Also, the Slug makes everyone just feral. The scene where Doggett pulls the Slug out of Scully's neck is the sexiest non-sexual scene in the show. MSR can take a hike. That's hot, and I don't care what anyone says. Number 4 is the Cockroach Man from Folia Do, Mr. Pincus. Like the Slug cult, the Cockroach just has all kinds of zombie bitches doing his bidding. To the point that this episode is referenced in one of my other favorite TV shows, Hannibal. In the scene where Will shoots Garrett Jacob Hobbs, he looks at Will and says, see it, see it. The same way the crazy man told Mulder in the episode Folia Do, and when Will Graham turns, instead of seeing a cockroach looming over his shoulder, he sees a horny stag man, literally and figuratively. I also love the way the cockroach just trolls Mr. Skinner in this scene where Mulder's saying see it to Skinner, and every time Skinner turns, the cockroach is like dancing out of his field of vision like, you don't see me, I'm not here. Like I said, the cockroach is like the Fiji mermaid. If you just look at him dead on, he's silly. But with the editing in this episode, which is, by the way, written by Vince Gilligan, who also wrote Roadrunners, it's just magic. It always makes me pee my pants with fear. Number 3. The Fluke Man. Two-way tie between the Fluke Man and the Lizard Man from Mulder and Scully Meet the Were Monster. Again, as with Josh Exley and the Manitou, Mulder, these monsters reignite Mulder's love for fucking monsters. they both they both approach him at times in his careers where he's ready to give up on monster hunting, and he's like ready to throw in the towel and settle down with my redhead, and then don't you know, a hot ass monster tail shows up and like, no you ain't, bitch. I also love the way Mulder dives into a sewer in New Jersey like a blue whale to catch that fluke man. I also love the lizard man and fluke man. They're both so innocent. All they want to do is just live out their lives and fall in love and have babies and puppies, and they just could care less about humans and their sticky morals. So also love the wereman's devotion to his Jack Russell dog, Daggoo. Daggoo, you are the Jack Russell king. Sorry, Jack from Louie. And it's also great that his dog became Scully's dog. Which moves us on to number 2. Space Ghost from the episode Space. This ghost is so horny, he's waiting up in the stratosphere for astronaut himbos to come to him. The only reason Space Ghost isn't number 1 is Mulder is only slightly hornier for his childhood idol, Captain Aurelius Belt, which is the only thing that pushes Space Ghost to number 2. But Space Ghost is so horny that he will hold out on he will hold out and keep long-distance lovers apart. Like the NASA control operator and her fiancé, which always reminds me of Paul from the movie Pete's Dragon. Also love how her fiancé and Paul have the exact same plot arc. Also, the Space Ghost, for a concept so silly and ridiculous, when you see it on Captain Aurelius's belt possessing him, is one of the scariest scenes in the show. I had a popcorn ceiling in my childhood room when I was 11, and after watching this episode, I would not sleep on my back for 2 months. So yeah, it is up there with Friedability. Now, before we say the number 1 monster, X-Files edition, let's have some honorable mentions, shall we? We have the horny and sexy werecat from the episode Tesos dos Bichos. I like the episode Space. This is an episode X-Files fans love to hate, and I love to hate it and love it. I love Tesos dos Bichos. I've done a review for it. You can check it out. I love Lonnie Belak turning into the sexy werecat. I love the way he breaks up with his girlfriend when she yells, "You've been drinking Yahe." One of my favorite lines in the whole series. Mr. Chuckleteeth from the series revival. I don't like the X-Files revival, and I don't like this episode Mr. Chuckleteeth's in, but he's fucking scary, and he gives me Goosebumps vibes, so there you go, he makes the list. I also love Chester from the episode Fresh Bones in Season 2. I love how he becomes Mulder and Scully's cat son. And finally, the zombies from Millennium. I couldn't include them on the list because there's too many of them, but like the Fluke Man, they're just so innocent. They just want to fall in love and eat brains. And also, the zombies from Hollywood AD. I'm going to do, and this is just a bug in people's ears, I also wanted to include the X-Files vampires on this list, but I'm going to be doing separate videos about X-Files zombies, X-Files vampires, and X-Files aliens. So just stay tuned for that. I'm hoping to do it all in Scorpio season, because this is the spooky season. Are you ready? Number 1, let's go! And the number 1 monster on our X-Files monster list is the Jersey Devil. Everyone is horny for the Jersey Devil. Mulder is horny for the Jersey Devil, to the point when his beautiful redhead goes on a date, he gazes longingly at the clock, wondering when she will be home, and then looks right back down to the Bigfoot titties he's been looking at this entire time. And it's not just Mulder who is thirsting out of his ass for the Jersey Devil. It's the park ranger. It's the anthropomorphics professor. It is even Dana Scully, and nothing gets her motor running faster than when Mulder is hunting monsters, because she loves that sweet, 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 sweet monster fucking buffer. Oh yeah. Monster in the middle. Make a Mulder Scully Oreo cookie. Well, I hope y'all have a great Halloween. If you have a particular monster from the X-Files you love that didn't make the list, drop it in the comments, because I love talking about monsters and I love talking about cryptids. Y'all have a very, very happy Halloween.